about the most difficult scene, like the lodge scene, where the semi-nudity and everything like that. Also, the content of the film.
Yeah.
It's very scary when I watched the film because it was so real, and I knew like people like these exist. It's just that I'm not in contact with them, but I know this happens with like at a lot of places. What was the research process for writing, dialogues and content like this, which to be very honest really messes the audience up? Okay, like some of the people who have no clue that this exists, they can be like, it's very disturbing, to be very honest. So what was your process of research or writing the dialogues and everything?
No, so that's what. No, I told this. Both movies came as an attack to me. Call and this one.
Yeah.
Right. So attack to research क्या think भी नहीं कर रहा हूँ. Okay. Because if you have experienced life and you have seen such people in your personal life or in happening to somebody else, or somebody else has told somebody else who has told you something, then again the same kind of creativity process. Competition and combination of lot of emotions and thoughts. So then that in my opinion your brain is actually researching. You're not writing anything, but just while it's doing its own research, and then it just explores on the paper, and the only thing you have to figure out in the second draft, is it truthful or not? Is it something that sounds phony, or is it something that you have seen this, you have seen this in this person, that person? I mean, the point is that you will not exactly find a person, probably. Okay, you can't speak for like 6 billion people, but I mean on the planet, but exactly like Rohit Kokot and exactly like Khushbu, you would not find people like that, probably. But what you're likely to find is one thing said by somebody else, another act done by somebody else. It's more like a combination. The characters, in my opinion, most of the times, in most of the fiction films, good ones, bad ones, great ones, whatever, are actually a combination. One character is a combination of a lot of traits and personalities and acts. It's never exactly a person. But it gives that effect if it's truthful, that it's and one has seen this kind of thing. So I don't think that it had I really don't think that the movie. So I think Vidar, is that there's no such thing as realistic cinema. Okay, but there is a thing called cinematic reality. All right, because cinema is a lie. No matter who is doing what. Okay, moment. So the only question is that and reality itself is so multifaceted. Okay, like what is happening right now on news channels. Of course, a certain event did happen. A certain thing did happen. But can you even be sure about what happened? Because about something that is there, right? So, and this is like in contemporary times. So, so reality basically has a lot of facets, and even if you can capture probably one rhythm of it out of so many rhythms, and investigate it, and express it unabashedly with your craft or whatever, it kind of gives you a feeling of the whole gamut of reality, I feel.
Okay.
For that particular topic.
Okay. And after that call, how, like, when I watched Call, I recently watched it when it came on Prime, and one of my friend was like, I've been chasing this films for years now, you should watch it. And I catch the film, and I was just mind blown, because it did everything, like it did everything it could do. You know what I mean? Like in terms of content, in terms of experimenting, in terms of stylizing and everything. And the film just made me feel so many things, and it was just a satisfying experience to watch a film like that. How did the whole thing came in your head? We'll first talk about writing, and then we'll I'll divide the questions. So you first let's first talk about writing, like conceptualizing and writing process.
Yeah. again came as an attack. So there is no
Yeah, yeah,
conceptualizing.
yeah.
So yeah, so um, yeah, so I think I wrote that in like 2 days, the first draft, because it was an attack, just like Jao Ka Bata Dil. And the way I wrote it in Marathi, and Marathi Malwani, and I wrote it not like that interior, exterior, day,
Ha ha
night,
ha.
whatever.
Ha ha
Okay,
ha.
I wrote it in a prose format, almost
Okay.
like poetry.
Ha ha ha.
Okay, uh, because that's the way it came to me. And I wrote that, and then I started then writing. Okay, ये interior exterior में होगा, ये interior में होगा,
अच्छा.
exterior में होगा, ये day में होगा, day night में होगा.
Ha
अच्छा
ha
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा. Okay, okay.
ha ha.
All right. And it's very tough to remember now what
Yeah.
happened in the
Okay.
pre-production. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so the writing stage was that, and again, yeah, the second draft again, like trying to remove certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Third draft for the flow of the language and
Ha ha
everything
ha.
in terms of dialogues and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, um, yeah. So that's how
Okay.
it happened. Yeah.
Can you remember what are the heavy influences on you, like reading or films or just this whole the philosophy you have developed over the years? This was right after FTI, right? Like call.
No, call I shot when I was in the third year. FT I didn't know about it, thankfully.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So our third year came,
Uh-huh.
and there was one workshop, I
Hmm.
think, that happened. And so FTI ka tragedy, right? The amount of time it takes to
Yeah.
complete a course,
Yeah.
right? So still our batch was probably the fastest batch in the last 10 years. I mean, at that time at least.
Mm-hmm.
So we had completed our 2 years in like 2.5 years. What an achievement! But no, it was an achievement because see, the infrastructure is limited. Okay,
Yeah.
so if probably like it becomes very tough for the people in the administration to allot cameras. You don't have like 12 cameras.
Exactly. Huh.
So it's very cumbersome process. Anyway, but I think our batch did well. The third year, however, the problem started because I think when we were in the third year, there were other two batches which were also in the third year.
Oh.
So there were
Okay.
two batches in third year.
Okay.
So I think the administration was fucked beyond redemption. And uh, and what started happening was that the next workshop was like going to happen after a couple of months or something like that. There was basically no certainty.
Yeah.
All right. And anyway, this attack came to me.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know. I just don't remember. I just like I met Amaya. I'm like, okay, fine. You will shoot the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Amaya's not from FTA.
Yeah.
But I mean, I thought that this guy could do it, and he did it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I mean, my cousin.
Yeah.
I didn't know the EP or anything, so my cousin was there,
Mm-hmm.
who had just finished engineering exam, and Swapnil, and I asked Swapnil, so we have done like the Ganpati and all that, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
organization of it. Like, yeah, I'm like, this is EP thing is the same thing, just same shit. Okay, he's like, yeah, and he's very, very bright guy, so he just got it like in 2 days. Okay, fine, got it. Okay. Then I asked my mother that, listen, I actually told my mother that either you send me to an asylum and pay for that, or you're going to give me this much money, very, very less money. I think it was 7 lakhs. Okay. And you give me 7 lakhs and I'll do this movie. And I'm going to shoot it in Konkan, where we are from. And, I need to do this.
Yeah.
And she gave it, and I don't think because of the asylum thing, because she really believes.
Yeah.
She really still believes with me. And that, and so once I mean, that, it just, I'm like, I'm not thinking.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking. I really cannot function if I don't do this. And then anyway, so then all the we did the pre-visualization. Amay and I sitting here in this room. Then we went to the to Konkan. He's also from Konkan, so we knew a lot of places over there. We did that. Then again we reworked on the shot division and the shot design.
Okay.
And again during the shooting we worked on, because it was heavy monsoon. So again we worked on that while shooting, and that's how we did it.
About and speaking about like still like the two scenes, which like one of my favorite scene is the taxi scene where the conversation between Rohit Kokar's character and that happens. A lot of things happen in that taxi. Two things: execution of that scene with the actors and technically as well, and the last scene with the actors. That and how did you shoot that scene, because that is horrifying for the audience, and I'm pretty sure it was not so easy to shoot that scene as a crew member as well, right? So what was the process of shooting these two scenes again?
Okay, so first let's take the taxi scene.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
In the taxi scene, of course, there was going to be Himanshu Kohli, who played the taxi driver, Khushbu and Rohit in the back.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, with the great budget that we have, we cannot, of course, do those rigs and la 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 la. And I wanted a sort of a free-flowing movement within the taxi, right? In the taxi, however, other than these three people, only two people can be there. Okay. One is a DOP and one is a sound recordist.
Yeah.
So what we did was that Himanshu, who was playing the taxi driver, uske बाजू का seat हमने निकाल दिया. Like निकाल दिया, removed it. Okay. And Amaya was sitting, like बैठा था Amaya with the camera. Okay. And I think Khushbu or Rohit के पैर के नीचे Shishir, who did the sound recording and design, was लेटा था.
Yeah.
Okay. And of course they knew the dialogues and whatnot. I had given whatever the do's and don'ts for Amaya already, and then the free flow, and that's it. And they just had to go around and do this.
Okay. And okay, so again you directed with the DP being the your trust point. That again. Okay.
Yeah.
And do you take workshops?
That's the only way.
Okay. Sorry.
I depends. I mean, like for example, the movie I have done right now, I don't like to call them workshop, just rehearsals. Workshop is a pretty cool sounding name. Rehearsals, all right. So for the one that I've just done the lockdown, I did. Okay, for call, it was mostly with Rohit, which was mostly like introducing him to a different kind of programming of acting.
Yeah.
I don't know one not really rehearsal, but it was not again a workshop either. Yeah. It was something else. For Jaun Kahan Bataya Dil, no. Jaun Kahan Bataya Dil, I didn't need to take workshop because Khushbu and Rohit and even Himanshu are like there. You don't need to take their workshops.
Yeah.
All you need to tell them what you don't want first thing, and why you don't want certain things. About what they want to do, then what we did is that, so with Khushbu and Rohit independently, I went for line by line breakdown. Why are you saying this? Why is he saying this? That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Analysis basically. And that's it. And other than that, they did their own rehearsals.
Okay.
And yeah, that was that.
Okay. And speaking of the last scene, again, like how difficult was it to execute the last scene?
Yeah, it was. So one thing I knew, I was also bashed by a couple of people because in Mami I was asked this question and I said I did it like an action scene. Okay. And they thought, oh my God, this guy is so inhuman and how could we speak about this like that and all that. I guess so misinterpretation may have happened, but I had explained and I'm still explaining this. Is this that when you say you're doing it like an action scene, what you actually mean is that if somebody is going to put a sword or somebody is going to punch you, okay, you have to be very sure that the actors don't get hurt.
Yeah.
You have to be very, very precise.
Yeah.
Right. So over there, we actually like planned it. यहाँ से इतना ही करना है, इसके बाद नहीं करना, यहाँ से इतना ही फ्रेम चाहिए, इसके नीचे नहीं चाहिए, यहाँ से वही करना है, वहां से वही करना है, ओके, and we'll hope that everything gets done in one take.
Yeah.
I mean, even if there are short divisions in that, but you know, for a particular shot, just that, and hopefully we'll get done, because it's going to be traumatic for actors. It's going to be, you know, and when we were shooting, what happened was that, again, because of budget and whatnot, but it was a very hot room. It was, you know, and the sound would have had an issue if there was an AC. Yeah. So they had to do it without fans or without AC. We didn't have money for the other kind of things we could have done. It was also, you know, like my EP's actually flat, its parents' flat in Ulhasnagar. So it was very, very difficult in terms of production to do all those things. And yeah, and Khushbu had the makeup on, which was almost kind of very like burning her skin. And she was putting up through it. Rohit had some sort of a health kind of a thing, and it was, they did it. I mean, you wouldn't believe that the way they did it, there's no inhibition in what they did. Okay, you don't even feel that if somebody else is there, but they were going through tremendous stress. I mean, in terms of doing this.
Yeah.
Because of course you're doing it, you're going to do it, but it's extremely difficult here to do this. So yeah, the same thing. So I basically yeah. So only it was Amaya and Shishir was not in the room. Shishir had put you know, certain Mike's position where they would have been able to do this thing. And we're all in the outside room, so it was basically Amaya, Khushbu, and Rohit in the room.
Okay.
Mostly. So that's how we did it. And
thankfully
we got done with it fast. There was still like lighting wale late aaye the, and we couldn't do it on time. All the sort of production thing, but it was very, very difficult. But thanks to these actors and, you know, the other crew members who, because of it. But,
also,
you can write what you want, but
exactly. No, actually, write what you want. Like, I watched the film An Encounter, and things which are being said in Jaun Kahan Bataye Dil. They are very, like, even in India, people can bash you for anything, right? And these things can be really offensive to people. What's your approach while writing? Do you keep any kind of filter in mind, or even while making film, do you keep the audience in mind in any way, or it's just that you just want to be truthful ki aisa hota hai and I want to show it and this is what I want to say?
So Steven Spielberg said a very interesting thing. Okay, it's like one of the most commercial, I mean, come on. You know, and he said this thing, and he was not being phony when he said that, because it's actually true. If you watch his interviews, movies, you know, he said that I really don't make movies for the audience. Okay, I'm my own audience. Okay, it's just a matter of luck that what I like, millions of other people. You know, and that is actually true. Okay, so I'll just wait for some producer to understand that. You know, because a success of a movie is also depends on how much exposure it gets. If people don't know the movie is coming, then, you know, they will, like, a lot of people still write about call, but, you know, when by the time it came, because we didn't have budget for marketing, people didn't know the movie was there. Stuff like that happens. Even for Jao Kabadil, there was hardly any marketing. So it's, I don't, like, I have the same thing, that is it interesting to me? Is it not interesting to me? That's what my most important thing is. And as far as offending and all that, so I think, like, so and I'm yeah, it's going to sound like hyperbole only, but fuck it. I normally shoot or a shoot, whenever I'm shooting, I normally shoot each day is like, if I die the next day, I shouldn't be fucking regretting what I did yesterday. Okay, like literally, if I die, I get hit by a car, whatever shit happens. So no, the offending and all that doesn't really come to my mind, because I'm like कि मरना है, मेरे को फर्क पड़ता है मैंने last day क्या किया.
Okay.
If it's like
Fair
that.
enough.
And
Okay.
if it's not happening after watching the movie, then nothing like it.
Going back to the earlier days that you were in FTII, and you mentioned what worked out, what didn't work out in FTII, and why you dropped out in one of your interviews. But I wanted to ask you, as a filmmaker now making films, how important was that schooling, or how important it is for a upcoming filmmaker to go to a film school, or to go to FTII or any kind of film school and get a proper schooling of making films? How important is that, according to you?
So there are two parts again. One is the experience that I had, and now if somebody wants to go to FTI or such another film school, what happens?
Yeah.
So different thing.
Yeah.
So let me first of all answer the important part. What I think right now is whether one should go to any film school right now or not. Okay. There could be different. First of all, there are different motives why one wants to become a filmmaker or a cinematographer or editor or sound and actor and whatnot in this audiovisual storytelling industry. If money is your aim, and it's a legit aim, okay, there's nothing morally inferior about it, then I would rather suggest start working in the industry.
Okay.
Do not probably waste your time or something in a film school or whatever. Okay, fame though is like whatever. I mean, one can go for TikTok and I don't know whatnot and do a lot of. You have to stand out and blah blah blah, and one can do that also. Or make YouTube videos and do that. If you want to learn the craft, then right now, you can also go to film school. But okay, let's talk about a film school. What is actually a film school, element-wise? Okay, one is that you get to watch a lot of films that you might not be able to watch, so to say, in a normal environment. Then you might get teachers who will tell you about, certain aesthetics and whatnot. Third, you will get to handle equipments. Fourth one is that you will be able to live with people, students basically, who are interested probably in the same thing that you are. Motives might be different. Okay, that, and the last thing would be that you get a certificate that you are passed from film school. You think that if nothing happens, if I'm not able to make whatever, if I'm not able to do freelancing in whatever department I'm in, then I will get a job in some media house and whatnot. Right? These are the this is what film school provides. So I will not talk about the money factor, the job factor, because that is not something that I mean, for that you I mean, it's pretty clear that it doesn't really matter whether you do. But if you are talking filmmaking, if it's life and death shit for you, I mean, metaphorically at least, then you really, I really don't think that, unless it's like, you cannot, like, you are having a lot of problems with your family, and you want a kind of a distance from them, in a place where they don't come to fucking bother you, okay, or emotional reasons basically, okay, then go to a film school and all that, so that you will be able to at least focus. Okay, but do not expect from a film school they're going to talk about filmmaking much. Okay. But because it's become basically, so the one of the biggest problem with film schools and in general, what I've interacted with a lot of other film schools also, like across and all that. The general problem is that it is taught from so to say, aesthetic point of view.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is not taught from the making point of view. Forgetting that production mechanism and aesthetics are extremely correlated.
Yeah.
Okay. So what generally happens that in a film school, you will be shown a lot of cool movies, and they're great movies. I mean, Tarkovsky or Bresson or anyone for that matter, Bergman and anybody for that matter, they are amazing. They made amazing movies, but the production mechanism was different. Where did they get the funding from, and all were different things.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird that in most of the film schools, the independent films, like, because if you're going out, okay, from a film school, and you're not going to assist anyone, then there are great chances that you're going to get a movie on a micro budget to make. So that should be a very important part of the curriculum and just a discussion. Yeah, right. Not at all done.
Okay.
Not at all fucking done. Okay. So if you want to really make a movie, then I would go with the two advices of Stanley Kubrick. One is that all you need to make a movie is a camera and a sound recorder. That is first. Second, the best advice I can give to anybody who wants to make a film is actually to make it. Okay. Because now the good thing is this: on internet, listen, you can get books.
Yeah.
All right. You can get director's commentaries.
Yeah.
There are amazing videos that are out there about which I have no idea if film school teachers can even do even half of it. The way they have analyzed certain things out there, great. So that is out there. I mean, so in terms of information, which was a very, very film school thing.
Yeah.
Okay, it's no more that.
Yeah.
And in fact, it's better in my opinion. Okay, so if you have space, mental space and a physical space to actually get that information and process it and analyze it, there's no need to go to film school.
Okay.
Get a fucking camera. Okay, got your whatever FCP or whatever fucking free editing software. Write it, get your friends, do it.
Yeah.
All right. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
But you really have to read. You really have to, because there won't be anybody to tell you.
Yeah.
Again, even if you go to a film school, nobody's going to tell you. You can do whatever the fuck you want. But I would rather say that it affects different people differently. Okay.
Yeah.
Some people, film school really helps because they need a certain protection because of their financial background or their other sociological background, and it helps them. It's not like हर एक को फेंक दो समुद्र में तैरना सीख जाएगा. It's not that kind of bullshit. Some people need it, but some people का drive gets killed in a film school. That's also true.